Yes, you can have
I know
multiple
that.
different.
I have chronic walking pneumonia, which is why I was asking.
But the answer
probably
is yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm pretty sure all pneumonia are multiple different bacteria. Just
Oh
by
yeah,
default,
no.
you have-
Walking pneumonia is a completely different strain from normal pneumonia, and there's viral pneumonia as well, which is hyper lethal. And if you get that, you're just fucked. Like there's literally, if you get viral pneumonia, there's like God Himself could come down and be like, "Yeah, you're fucked, man."
And that's what you have. It'll never be cured.
No, I have chronic walking pneumonia, which is a bacterial strain of pneumonia that, unlike other forms of pneumonia, doesn't trigger quite a stream of a response from the immune system, but also doesn't really cripple you. It just makes you really short of breath, and occasionally you'll get infections and you'll cough up, mucus and whatnot.
You be very careful out there, my friend.
Oh, I know. I've been living with it for 10 fucking years, so.
He's got that shit on lock at this point.
Yeah. He's done caring.
Honestly, knowing with Sneaky's luck, it's not going to be an accident that gets him. It's not going to be a disease. It's just going to be old age. At the age of 52.
I would hate that. I would genuinely hate that so fucking much. You have no idea how much I would loathe the idea of dying of old age.
Like, the older Sneaky gets, like, the more he tries to get himself killed. Just goes into as many dangerous situations as possible.
Fucking,
He just comes out without a
he
scratch.
He starts going for the gun option, and it just keeps falling apart, quite literally.
No, it's not even that. Like, something would fucking happen. Like, I would get a phone call as I'm about to do it, and then I would completely forget where I put the gun, and I would spend, like, days looking for the gun, and then I would forget why I was looking for the gun, and then, like,
So it's the old Alzheimer's
later,
joke.
Yeah, basically, except that...
I discovered I was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, so I decided to commit suicide. Then I forgot I was trying to commit suicide.
Yeah, except for the
And every
part
time I
where
tried to
that's normal me now. That's already me. I'll walk downstairs and be like, man, I'm fucking thirsty, and I'll pick up my cup and I'll be like, what the fuck am I doing with this cup?
Yeah. Also, with your luck, it'll probably be me calling about some random shit. Like, hey, Sneaky, did you change the password again?
Spend the next 3 hours talking to Max about everything but the thing he called me for.
I like how I can actually call you up on this. Hey, Sneaky, what's the fucking password? Oh, okay, we got it figured out. Oh, by the way, I had some IT.
Yeah, I have an IT story for you. 7 hours later. Well, Max, it's 7 a.m. now. I gotta go to bed.
I go to bed at around 9 every night. I keep it an old man sleep schedule.
I used to do that, and then my body was like, hey, but what if we just stopped falling asleep? And I was like, wow, fuck you too, body.
I would, but I
once.
keep talking to you, Chuckle Fox, so here I am.
Indeed.
Midnight.
So,
Here's
know
the
what?
thing, though. You're 19. You can get away with it. Abuse it while you can.
Basically.
Oh, by the way,
The instant you turn 24, 25, you're going to lose that ability, and you're just going to be real confused.
And it's not even going to be, like, obvious to you either. You're just going to be like, man, I haven't done an all-nighter in, like, 8 months.
Yeah.
I've
That's
actually
good
never
for
done an
you.
all-nighter.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Also,
Oh,
I
I just
hate
made
people who call me.
a Betty Crocker super moist cake mix.
Oh,
It's
yeah?
so soft
Yeah.
afterwards that just trying to apply the cream cheese on top of it shredded it. It's so soft I can't apply the cream cheese.
Nice. That sounds... Honestly, that sounds kind of horrible.
It sounds like you
it's
didn't
time
cook
to
it
get
enough. Yeah.
Listen,
It tastes fine.
you only have one choice, Rance. You're going to have to mix the cream cheese into it.
Yeah.
Just suck it up.
Ugh.
Just
That's
slurp
terrible.
it up. So I promised we wouldn't do Ruby. So instead,
Good.
we're going to do Castlevania Familiar of Zero. Or Dragon Age Familiar of Zero. How do you guys feel about those two options?
I feel nothing, honestly.
What's familiar? Oh, Familiar of Zero, the pink hair.
Which one do you think will cause the most damage to people while I go and take care of some stuff?
Honestly, it's really up in the air for that one. I would probably
Does the
think...
Castlevania one include a lot of vicious rape and murder?
No. In fact, none of
Maybe
them
Skyrim.
really do.
Maybe.
No.
We generally try to avoid that on this show.
Oh, you
I
know
don't
what?
believe you.
Actually,
We actually
can
report
do...
those stories if we find them.
We can do this one. This one looks cringy enough. But
The
also
first
at the same
time I was here,
I kind of want to save it for Rants. No, Rants, Stanish.
I was about to say, Rance is here.
Yeah. Because Rants is here, we'll
And
do
the
the
first
Star
time
Wars
I
Harry
was
Potter
here-
story.
You told me about the Cat Will Do Too story.
Yes, the cat will do too.
Ugh.
The cat will do too.
All
Anyway.
right, I'll at least see what this thing is titled and hear the summary before I go take care of that stuff.
Hello, Internet! This is Fanfiction
That is
Contempt
the
number
wrong channel.
9004. This is your host, SneakyDevil. We're coming at you loud and proud with some fucking fanfictions. Hopefully there is not fucking in these fanfictions, but you know
Hey,
what?
Sneaky, you
Yeah,
did this
it is
back in
gaming.
August.
We did this already?
Yeah, I was looking. I'm
Really?
like, this sounds familiar because we
Yeah.
don't touch a lot of Harry Potter, Star Wars.
Oh, fuck yeah, Dude, this is like the 4th time I've put this into the fucking red list.
It's kind of funny.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you think you'd learn at some point, but nope.
Bookmarks, why do you do this to me?
I like to
I think
think
it's
that
wrong.
it's just your
Yeah.
bookmarks resyncing when you're sleeping, and so it fucks everything up.
You know, it might entirely be that.
Oh. Wait, what if this is literally your date and time problem coming back to bite you in the ass from the grave?
Oh shit! Do you think this?
It might have kept trying to resync with an earlier time because your time was all fucked up.
Oh, God.
Fuck.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me because Windows and Chrome don't interact all that well sometimes.
It's entirely possible this issue has been going on for so long and it just finally came to head recently.
Yeah.
Fuck. That might actually be it. Well, okay.
If we'll know soon enough.
Hey, one of you want to ping Fiend so he can cringe at this with us?
Is Fiend someone in this server?
SDM.
I love how you guys love each other so much to share this misery.
Is this wrong chat? Oh wow, it is wrong chat. I thought I was in fanfic 9K because I was scrolled down there. Anyway. Bada bing, bada boom. I also like how no one fucking corrected me. I have like 7 people in this voice chat, and not a single fucking person said I had put the goddamn link to the
I
fic
did.
in the
Yeah,
wrong
he did.
section.
Yeah, I did, but
The rest of us
listen.
didn't say anything because it had been said.
I don't
didn't
even.
hear it.
I just don't even give a shit right now. Like, I'm
still
pretty
have
sure
no
I'm
idea
fighting a
what you guys
fever
are
right
talking
now. I
about.
don't have time for that.
Max, go to bed.
No,
So
fuck
anyway,
you.
this is High School DxD, also known as Horny the Anime. So we're starting off with a alternative universe right at the start. So High School DxD, Rise of the Sun God.
Okay.
Solar God, actually.
Issei-centric story. Every hero has a beginning. The path of a hero is forever determined by the events he is placed in. What?
I guess
That
if you're
is-
really old school with your writing.
That's fucking awful. That's
I
literally that's
suppose.
literally the equivalent of saying your drive to your family house is the exact same determined by the turns you take on the road. It's like, yeah.
I guess. Sure.
It sounds like something a chick would put on her living room wall.
It kind of does actually.
He's got a point.
I mean, well, hold on. Is it? Here's the thing. Is that bathroom motivational or is that front hallway motivational?
That's front hallway. That's absolutely
That's front hall.
hallway.
Yeah.
In this universe, the life and destiny of Issei Hayudo is determined by a much different origin. So it's basically not Issei?
I was gonna say that would seem to be the case.
Oh, I remember reading this one. It's complete garbage and has fight scenes that make DBZ fights look quick, often going for several chapters with shit tons of dialogue. Oh.
You gotta include the last sentence too, Sneaky.
I
Yeah,
cut
okay,
out that
listen.
sentence. Yeah.
Hold on. I can't let you say that one, man.
I am somehow completely unsurprised that this story has managed to gain 3,601 favorites.
How do I get rid of a
Yeah.
specific message?
Purge.
You don't. You can't.
Do it like a 10-second purge. Effectively.
Yeah.
Strong, non-perverted, heroic, neutral Issei. So basically, everything Issei isn't, this Issei is. Chat was cleared by our moderator.
Yeah.
Prevented by better TTV.
I didn't even do that one.
Get fucked.
Oh, that's great. Prevented by app. Nice. Contains Dragon Ball and Bleach elements, but this is apparently not a crossover, guys. Issei times Ophis, the Infinite Dragon, times unwanted harem.
Yeah.
So this
Harems are always trash.
Well,
the only
yeah,
time
obviously,
anything.
but the entire purpose of DxD is literally this guy gets a harem. That's the entire plot of the show. Is this guy gets a harem? And so the author.
I've only ever seen.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was like, it's literally like the author for like a Harry Potter story was like, this is a magicless female Harry Potter who's Australian in China. Also, he gets a harem.
I've seen one kind of harem story, but it wasn't a harem story in that it just had Harry go through multiple girlfriends throughout the story.
That's not really a harem. That's
But
just
like,
normal.
that's just life.
Not the harem.
Yeah,
it's life. Yes. It was just him going through we really portrayed him as more of a Chad athlete.
Oh,
And
fair
he
enough.
would date.
Yeah.
And it was actually pretty good. He started acting like a normal high schooler.
If you ever think like fanfiction.net is disconnected from reality, in terms of how they portray relationships, all you have to ever do is go down to Archive of Our Own, and you'll quickly learn that anyone that posts on Archive of Their Own, literally has no idea what the fuck a relationship even is, and they think it's some sort of food. Because they're like, oh, this is a queer, quasi-planned, romantic, platonic, equator surface relationship. And it's like, okay,
a pizza topping list for a relationship.
No toppings left beef. And it's like, okay, well, what kind of relationship is this? And you get into the actual story and it's like, hi, Iruko, I like you as a friend. And then the Iruko goes, oh, wow. I also like you as a friend, and I really appreciate we can hang out together. I'm like,
oh, by the way, I want to fuck you.
No. That's it. It's just that's it. It was like, I appreciate you as a friend. Yeah, I too also appreciate you as a friend. That's it. And the author's like, this is a queer, pan-platonic, quasi-romantic relationship. It's like, no, author, that's called having friends.
I was just saying.
Yeah. That's called having normal relationships.
It's very obvious the author doesn't have any friends.
Yeah,
So-
I know.
Yes, so therefore they would likely associate any form of closeness as intimacy.
Yeah. That's just like,
Yeah.
bro.
I assure
That's
you.
also kind of a problem with media in that a lot of actresses, especially in movies, they're always acting in a manner that's sexual. Like that's all they know. Like their body language. Like if you just mute some of these movies and TV shows.
That can somewhat be blamed on the marketers who are like,
I was gonna say that
sells.
That, largely speaking, has less to do with the individuals involved. Like,
well, no, I
Anne
wouldn't
Hathaway.
Go that, no, hold on. I wouldn't go that far.
Let's take Anne Hathaway.
Cardi B is a great example of this. Where her only talent is I have a vagina and look semi-decent.
Right.
Not
But
even.
then you have, like, actually talented actresses who, right, they're just put in roles where it's like, you have to be sexy.
Right, but that's because people like Cardi B set the standard of, well,
Yes.
you have to be as sexy as her as well, because otherwise people are going to pay more attention to this person than you. And
I'm not even talking about being sexy. I'm talking about like just mute some shows or movies and watch the women's body language and facial expression.
Right,
Yeah,
but
I
that
can't
has
do
to do
I'm,
with
I'm
what they're being
effectively socially
directed.
blind.
That's the director.
Well, it's
like,
also because that's also just how the actresses. That's the only way they know how to act. Like
I
every
guess.
girl practices the seductive smile, and that's the only smile they know. Like that's a thing.
I
I
mean,
guess.
Yes, to an extent, but I disagree. Right? Because if you look at the way that plenty of the actresses walk outside of movies, when when they're not being actively photographed and they don't know they're
Yes,
being
because they know
photographed.
that. That's because they know that they get more attention and they look better when they're acting sexual. Yes.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Hold on. They don't choose to act that way most of the time. They act that way specifically when they're on a camera and when the directors tell them to.
Okay,
I agree.
Atin, hold on. I'm gonna have to put some brakes on this. I would just like to point out at this time that 50 Shades of Grey is the #1 best-selling women's book.
Yeah.
That's because people are stupid, and we know that.
No, it's because women are perpetually horny.
Yeah.
I would say, to be fair, a lot of them need to learn to just, go ride a dick.
I mean, yes, that's true as well.
Or,
you're not wrong
if
on
they
that.
are so inclined, get finger blasted. We don't really care here. Just learn
Just
to go take
please.
care of yourself.
Please stop the horny.
Listen, some women need to understand what the idea of the FAP test is. I should really call my ex.
Did you say fat?
FAP
Fap.
test. FAP.
As in,
What is the FAP?
I don't know.
Educate them. What?
Please don't. Please, can we just continue on with this story?
I should call my ex. No, you shouldn't.
See, I never have to worry about that because my ex never
Yes,
picks
because
up.
you're a sociopath.
No.
Yeah.
I just don't call people.
No. Mm.
No, I really don't call people, ever.
I mean, yeah, but still,
The sun
it's a deadly laser.
is a deadly laser. It was virtually one of the most powerful sources of energy in the universe. That is patently false. That is hilariously false. That is it's like saying
Retarded.
Earth is one of the biggest planets in the universe. It's
I mean, clearly it is.
So it's so far from being true that it's almost a punchline to a joke. While it certainly is not the greatest or omnipotent source of all,
What the fuck is that even supposed to mean?
I don't know. It was potent nonetheless. It's yeah, well, the
Damn it! That was
coal
my
power-
kill you just stole there.
While the coal power plant is not the greatest power source or the omnipotent power source, it is potent nonetheless. It's wow, yeah, it's not infinity. So that's a great metric bar to determine power by. Infinite.
It's not infinity, but it is pretty good. Can we get some clarification?
That's I give this game a 570,000 out of infinite. It's
Oh, so
what?
a 0, effectively.
So it's
Oh, the enemy sniper got me.
What does that mean?
Good question.
It represented the conscious ego. What?
What?
The self and expression. Personal
I agree with Rance
power,
here.
Pride and authority. No, it actually doesn't represent any of these things. We've ascribed things to it, but that's mostly because people looked at the sun and said, wow, that's fucking bright, and it's fucking bright every single fucking day. No matter what day it is, no matter how many years pass, that thing's fucking bright as shit. So we're just gonna ascribe authority to it, because it's the brightest fucking thing that we know about. And so we're yep, that is peak. You can't get higher, so therefore authority, therefore pride, therefore leader gets associated with the sun. Power, health, vitality, because it's fucking there and it's fucking bright every fucking day. No matter how much you want the goddamn sun to turn off for one fucking day because it's shining on your eyes and you have the day off, it's fucking there.
Please, tell us how you truly feel about the sun.
The sun's a deadly laser.
And boy, do we need to harness it.
Yes, we do. The sun itself has the potential ability to inflate.
Oh no. The
And
sun is causing
implode.
economic inflation.
Oh no, sun has Googled inflation.
Quickly, Google the sun inflation rule 34 to learn
No.
more.
No.
To inflate, no, because I've already seen this whole fucking solar system fad that was going around a while back, so I know there's goddamn inflation porn of the sun now. I don't even need to Google it to know that that exists.
I don't need to Google it either, but at least I could have pretended it didn't exist.
Yeah, probably.
Too bad.
The sun has the potential ability to inflate and implode upon itself. Actually, technically speaking, our sun does not have the ability to inflate and implode upon itself. Our sun's not large enough to create a black hole, so it will just turn into a red giant and then either die out or there's a slight possibility that it might explode. But our sun is very small on the terms of scales for explosions and black holes, and so really red giant is the only stage we're sure about for our sun.
Pretty much, yeah.
Commencing the destruction of a class 5 or X apocalypse. A class 5 or 10 apocalypse. What do you mean a class 5 or 10? It's like this earthquake was a magnitude 7 or 14. I would really like to know which one.
Listen, in some places it was magnitude 7, some places it was magnitude 14. We're not going to tell you where, but...
So this author is telling us about the sun and is basically getting everything wrong about it. The severity of the sun is like a nuclear furnace.
It's
not like a nuclear furnace. It is a fucking nuclear. Oh my god.
What the fuck is he trying to say?
This car is like some sort of vehicular vehicle.
Oh, Max, you were pinged because I know you enjoy failure.
Who attaches a tow cable there? What did you think would happen?
Provided as the colossal source of energy for many light years in any direction.
No.
Yeah? What?
Okay.
In ancient times, the sun was revered as a deity or object of divine origins. The goddess of the sun and the universe, Amaterasu, was the one who shined in the heavens. Amaterasu o Mikami was the supreme goddess of Shintoism and the ruler
I
of the
resent
plane
that.
of heaven.
The true god of the sun is Baal.
Fair enough. As she floated above the skies, bringing light back into the world, the goddess adopted a look of thoughtfulness on her face. So I would just like to point out here also, in this whole scenario, it's stipulating that Shintoism, unlike in Canon DxD, was the creator of the world, unlike in Canon DxD, where it has God as the creator of the world. Which is a little bit weird, to be honest, because the whole premise that DxD builds up to, and the reason why so much of DxD happens, is because God is God and not
God is dead.
Shintoism.
And Sigmund Freud killed him.
He was the true Longius all along.
Yeah. Long is actually just like fucking Oedipus Rex.
Your fucking pronunciations on things.
Honestly, I think it
actually in German.
He actually has a secret ability. Sigmund Freud gains power through time and space, and so eventually God had to confront him.
Yeah.
And he shouted, "This even isn't my final form," and he actually just ripped off his clothes, and he was still super fat and like really out of shape and stuff, but his dick was huge. And it pierced God's heart.
It's true.
Literally, like physically actually pierced his heart.
There are so many levels of sacrilege here, I don't even know where to begin.
Good.
Sigmund Freud is actually Trihexa, the beast that God sealed.
Yeah. I can see that happening. Yeah, there are no issues here.
The creature that was too powerful because it gained energy every time someone was lewd.
Indeed. Every time someone wanted to fuck their mom.
The goddess of the sun had long jet black hair that reached all the way down. So I don't really know why the author is actually taking the time to describe to us a fictional deity that has been in existence for thousands of years, or at least 1,000 years. Pretty sure at minimum 1,000 years. I really
Probably
don't.
more.
It's like if you don't know what Amaterasu looks like, I'm pretty sure you can take like 2 fucking seconds to Google it.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, crap and shit and fucking stuff. There was an infant in
Indeed.
her arms, and Amaterasu was like, "Man, there's an infant in my arms." And then she spiraled solar energy into the baby, and the baby glowed.
No.
All
Was the
right,
baby
I
supposed to
see
glow?
we have jumped directly to some
and-
knockoff Gurren Lagann.
Then the baby
Are
kept
babies
glowing.
supposed to do that?
Then the baby kept glowing until his skin turned white.
I think that's probably like a form of cancer or something. Yeah, that's definitely skin cancer. Someone should get that looked at.
I will infuse the sun into you until you're white. All right.
Okay,
Uh-oh.
I left on sacrilege and I came back on racism.
You know what? This is the author, not me, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
the author said much lighter tone,
Well,
but you know, that's just
I'm aware.
technicality, right?
sneaky time. Sneaky time.
Listen, I'm aware that this is Sneaky's, the author's doing, not Sneaky's. That does not make it better.
His hair began to rise up slightly as he turned into a Saiyan, I guess, or something,
Yep.
and gained
Makes
a reddish
sense.
purple shade of coloring. Yeah,
Okay.
I was joking about the whole Saiyan thing, but I guess
The author
author
was
was-
not.
the
Yeah.
author wasn't.
I say, I
alright.
guess we're Super Saiyan now, boys.
Yeah, we
so
Super Saiyans now.
okay, so who gets Super Saiyan Blue first then?
I'll go Super Saiyan Red.
No, listen. Max has to get Super Saiyan Red because he likes the ashtray red frame.
Yeah, but Red's my whole thing.
Sneaky can have it. Blue gets to go more Unga.
I mean, fair. Oh, but wait, Max, what if we just gave him Amazing Red Warrior?
I don't even know what that is.
Give Sneaky.
Yeah.
Me neither. They're having an autism moment again.
Yeah, they're having
Sorry,
some
it's a
autism
Gundam
moment,
thing.
yeah.
We've already discussed this. Just give Sneaky a heavy arms and
Yeah.
outfit it with more missiles.
I'm okay with this. Everyone's seen how I play fucking Battle Tech.
Battle frame.
Battle
Battle.
That was
Battletech,
close.
yeah. There you go.
Yeah,
No,
let me
really.
just outfit all of my mechs with missiles, and I'll just shoot everyone from across the fucking map.
Sounds
Yeah.
like my kind of mech.
What's
Based.
that? 300 missiles per turn? Yeah, don't worry about it.
Hang on, I think we could crank this even more. Give me a second. All right, I've gotten rid of the cockpit and replaced it with 4 more missile pods.
No, you don't understand, Max. That's exactly what I fucking did. I was like, alright, I'm just gonna remove all armor. There's gonna be no armor. There's only gonna be a cockpit with legs and missile pods.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Well, I
I'm
think one of
looking-
my personal favorites is someone decided that the Jenner Sneaky lasers. Nah, the Jenner doesn't need
Oh.
lasers. The
Flame
Jenner
guns.
needs streak SRMs.
Yeah.
Oh,
everywhere.
Yakuza 6 just
Yeah.
dropped on Steam yesterday for only $20. I feel
Oh.
bad for the people who think are still buying it for like 40 on PlayStation.
I feel
I mean,
bad
they're on
for them playing a PlayStation, so
Yeah. You get what you fucking deserve.
consoles.
PlayStation's got some good stuff.
So anyway, Baby went Super Saiyan. The sun,
Yep.
as well as its nigh infinite solar output.
Uh-huh.
No, it's actually quite limited. We know
Actually
roughly when
incredibly
it's gonna
limited.
die.
Like, not only that, it's really low on the whole sun scale. Like I've seen the videos before. Like a bunch of the stars that are close to us that they can actually observe are like hundreds of times larger than our sun,
Yeah,
and
thousands
would
even.
literally fry
Nice.
the entire solar system if they took the place of the sun.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
So I'm really impressed by this author just getting everything consistently wrong and just being like, no, this is definitely how this works. It's like,
Credit
okay,
where credit's due. That takes some talent.
Yep.
Impressive.
Sort of like that one time we had that one author who was like, oh yeah, Naruto was starving and he survived off of chakra for a whole month.
I'm gonna be honest. If he was capable of that level of control, again, it always comes back to Donzo would have noticed.
I mean, he was also like 4 in that story.
Donzo's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was.
That's
4,
also
wasn't
a
he?
known pedophile.
Yes, he was.
Probably.
He did like little kids. He liked kidnapping them and putting them into his dark dungeons and making
He
them
has
fight
an
each
odd
other.
obsession with kidnapping. Yes.
He also liked to make kids fight each other to the death.
Oh God, he did.
Okay, here's the real question: was Donzo actually just an old man who got sick of children on his lawn?
Yes.
If I make all the
Yeah.
children kill each other in my fighting pit, they'll never ruin my flamingos again.
Okay, Pegasus.
Oh.
Pegasus?
That was absolutely fucking Pegasus.
I mean, okay, think whatever you want, but Donzo is absolutely the old man who has shitty fake pink flamingos because he thinks they're normal.
But they're actually filled with napalm bombs because he's
Oh,
also
or
paranoid.
something.
Oh yeah. Claymore mounted flamingos.
Donzo, this is a welfare check. I knew you would come for me eventually. Click.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
check
Get
this,
them,
feather
my
boys.
pets!
Donzo was the retired old man that you don't go near his house because you know every blade of grass is fucking wired.
Mr. Donzo, sir, we're here to deliver your antipsychotic medications. Click.
You can't trick me, lizard people.
Okay, listen, now Sneaky, I know you normally hate high school AUs, but hear me
Yeah.
out. It's a high school AU where Donzo is just a crazy old conspiracy theorist.
He's the janitor that lives in the basement.
Yeah, I was about to say he's got to
Absolutely.
be the janitor.
Oh, 100%. And all the
I
kids,
mean,
like the
well-
kids,
What I do is clean from the dark.
because they can't afford to keep the lights on here after dark. You need more money in the budget.
I
is
am
really...
the shadow of the roots beneath the school. Okay, old
Fucking-
man.
That is
Truly
probably
old
one of the
man.
few times that a high school AU fic is accurately representative of who gets what job. Because that is literally what he does. He's the cleaner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They just
in
don't know
one way or
about it.
another.
I imagine their conversations like, so does anyone even know if we have a janitor? Like, the school gets clean every night, but we never see supplies.
It turns out
Or the
Donzo's
man.
been fucking kidnapping orphans this whole fucking time, and has been like training them to be his army of janitors to clean the school on time.
One of the 7 mysteries is the ghost army. Because he
If
likes
you
to
see-
dress them up as ninjas.
If you
Can we just make
stand
him a
in the
weeb?
3rd floor men's bathroom, you can hear the sound of children playing. It's just because there's shitty pipes going from the basement to the 3rd floor bathroom.
Yeah, alright, Sneaky.
Yeah.
We have to make him a grown man who never got out of the chuny phase. So he's
Yes.
Yeah,
still just
exactly.
cosplaying as a ninja.
Oh god.
The bandages are just one more part of the affect.
So in reality, it was fucking Hiruzen who went on to become the school principal and got a degree and everything, and he felt really bad for Donzo because he never really went anywhere in his life and only always kind of like just fucking was stuck in that rut, and so he gave him the janitor job out of pity.
Expecting him to
Yeah.
get sick of cleaning after a couple years and move on.
Except he didn't. And one shot's fucking blood. One eye is fucking bloodshot, and that's why he wears bandages over it because he fucking injects so much heroin into that one arm, it's lost all feeling.
It's not to hide showering on eyes, it's to hide the track marks.
No, you see, every single track mark is where he's used too much needles, and so it's another hole that he has to hide and cover up. But you see, because he's injected so much heroin, it lets him think that he can stop time.
He didn't just outgrow the shooty phase, he fucking took it to the extreme.
And in reality, whenever he's like, "Ha, I've dodged another attempt to kill me," it's actually just another like post-injection hallucination brought on by all the drugs he's done.
Oh, and the reason he's so paranoid is absolutely the come down during working hours.
Oh, obviously.
The kids are out to get me again! Did you see that Sasuke hanging around his locker after school?
No, it's not. It's not the kids. It's the Parent-Teacher Association and the opposing nearby high schools as well.
Okay, but then why is he so interested in Naruto? We got to figure that out.
I don't know. Maybe he just has a thing for blonde-haired boys.
No, I don't think that's the direction we want to take this.
Look, so I actually have a little funny story from my old Warcraft 3 days. I made the mistake of doing RP stuff back in the day.
Yeah.
And text RP is pretty cringe.
Text RP is a dangerous place that I stay.
As someone who did about 8 years of text RP is pretty cringe. Because the inherent problem in text RP is that you have to wait for the person to finish typing their whole roleplay scene that they're doing before you can react to it, because you don't really know what the fuck's going on until they finish. So you can't make a good reaction to it until then. And sometimes it can get really fucking choony. And the other problem is that everyone thinks they're special, and everyone wants to be special in their text RP.
Yes, it is a form of wish fulfillment often.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this specialness tends to conflict when everyone declares that they are all Superman. So, this story in specific is the time that I had found life as a high school student, because there was a series called Life as a Peasant, and I knew the author of the custom map. Several of the Life as a Peasant custom authors, actually. I actually was in a guild of a lot of the map makers, and I, for some reason, knew a lot of fucking people. I don't know how, but I did.
Nice.
So
how did this all go wrong?
So, one of the variants I saw one day was Life as a High School Student. And it was a different map, completely new map, and you could walk onto these special circles that were used as quest points in the normal game, but they could do a whole bunch of things that basically triggered console commands to spawn units, give you abilities, change your model, etc., etc. Even change your player color or your player name. Because that was back in the day when Blizzard was actually cool and let you, fucking multicolor rainbow your name and shit. That's not allowed anymore. Back in the day when having a screen name, you could get really creative with it. But I was also a hoster back in the day. And a hoster is someone whose computer inexplicably could host Warcraft 3 custom games.
No one ever figured it out, by the way.
No, it really
was
didn't.
just a dice. It was just a dice roll.
It was literally just a fucking dice roll. You could do everything as per all the guides that say this is how you set up your computer to be able to host Warcraft 3, and sometimes it just not fucking work.
I would say that's the thing, right? It's not like it was a dice roll. Like, oh, will Sneaky be able to host today? No, it was. I have bought Warcraft 3 and installed it in my computer. I rolled an 11. I can never host a Warcraft 3 game.
Yep. Pretty much. And the problem was so bad that people actually invented bots that specifically were capable of hosting games for them. And it got to the point where these bots were so highly used that map-making creators would actually put a special bot position in the pre-lobby, so the bots could take up a slot while letting the normal amount of players play the game. It got crazy. It was honestly some of the most impressive programming I've ever seen came out of Warcraft 3 desperation.
Well, no, like that's the thing, right? Like, there are old game designers who are like, literally, one of the reasons we don't have as much cool stuff anymore is because we have so much freedom.
Yeah.
Like, everyone knows the story of the fact that, oh, how did Metroid 1 make this giant lizard boss? Oh, well, they made him the background sprite. That's why his arena is a black void.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because they were like, oh shit, we want to make this huge boss, and we need 8. I forget how big the backgrounds were, right? But the background sprite could be double the size of a normal sprite.
Right, because of how the game handled it. Yeah.
So they're like, if we make the boss the background sprite and just leave it a blank void, we can apply all the same rules to it, and it'll work as a boss, and it'll be huge.
Yep. But anyway, so because I was a hoster, because I knew all the RP people, I got asked very often to host RP games. So I did. Because I liked it when people needed me. Because I was a lonely child.
Yeah.
And so I often ended up taking the sane role. So if there was ever a sane role required in an RP, it would be me. I would be the warden of the jail. I would be the principal. This comes into play for this story. I would be the principal. I would be the ancient wise sage. I would be the neutral faction that basically everyone could go to for their RP to advance whatever story they're concocting. I was the principal in this Life as a High School RP. And I spent the entire 6 hours of that game running around, desperately trying to get some form of collective going on. Because the entire class, quote unquote, all decided they had to go be edgy in their special spot, fucking scattered across the map.
Oh my god. Literally herding cats then, huh?
And none of them would advance the RP until either a teacher, which there were none because everyone wanted to be a class student, or the principal showed up so they could have their edgy fucking monologue about how they're so special and no one understands them and that they need to fight the evil demon that's underneath the school. There was one. But that's not the point here.
There was an evil demon, but that's not the point.
That's not the point here.
You can't all fight Terrorblade.
You can't
go to
all
school.
Be the chosen one whose tragic backstory made them the only person capable of defeating the demon beneath the school.
That's not even how you defeat the demon. If you kids would go to class, you'd learn that.
But yeah, holy fucking shit, it was like herding goddamn cats, because I would have to sit there as they're fucking monologuing, and then I would have to, like, desperately try to roll and say whatever the words they're looking for to hopefully move their fucking scene along, because otherwise they're just gonna sit there and emo monologue until I say the right lines.
Is this the experience that put you off of text RP?
Yes.
I would say it would be that one specifically, but here's the thing.
No, honestly, in general, that's text RP is also where I learned how to pretend to be a girl online, because super shockingly, there was a vast dearth of difference between the population of females playing custom games on Warcraft 3 in 2006 and men playing custom games in Warcraft 3 of 2006.
You don't say?
No way.
And to help prevent it being a sausage fest...
Some of you had to bite the bullet and wear a dress?
Yeah, pretty much.
Hold on, I'm gonna the line I could say, but no, we're live.
Look, it is the only fucking way possible to ever get RPs moving along, because otherwise everyone just ends up in a goddamn dick measuring contest. and the RP goes fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong. I would say for me, I had okay experiences with text RP. I didn't do a whole lot of it in Warcraft 3. I got super into it in Star Wars Galaxies, which surprisingly, not a lot of like super creepy in the early days of Galaxies.
Well, actually, that's because Galaxies was really, build your own character sort of mentality, and you actually really had to work for it in late game. And
Yes.
so when you built your RP around your character being like this, you could be like, oh yeah, my character is a grizzled mercenary, and look, he has a house filled with battle trophies and guns and shit on display. And it's like, alright, fair enough.
Yeah, I would say, to be fair, you did get a lot more set dressing that helped
Yes.
with it.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing, I gotta give credit to the Sony Online Entertainment Group. Words I never thought I'd say.
Yeah, I know, right?
For the number of classes and it's like,
Mhm.
what's this class? That's the trader. What's this one? That's just entertainer. Do they have any combat abilities?
No.
No, not really. But they entertain real good, and you get all kinds of custom effects, so you can stand up on the stage and make your own music and
Can you get
put on
money
your own
from that,
light
too?
show. What?
Couldn't you earn credits from that too?
Yeah, people could tip you.
Yeah. So that was like an actual thing, and it was actually really fun and creative, and I was really impressed by it. Same with Eve.
I would say, and like all the cool gear, 100% made by like there weren't like like there was like in-game loot, but like if you wanted anything halfway decent, you bought it from someone who made it.
Yeah, there was very, very player heavy, which is why Eve was also great, because it was pretty much completely player driven as well.
But I was just saying, but what killed text RP for me was right. I was I was a young child.
Yes.
So I didn't really get to play on weeknights.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
And again, credit to the Star Wars Galaxies community. They tried to keep the weird shit limited to nights when there probably weren't going to be a lot of kids.
No, fair enough.
And boy, howdy, did I pick the wrong night to get all my homework done early.
Ah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
I was on Tatooine. I log in, because that's where the last war had been, right?
Right.
And I was like, all right, let's get on Tatooine. Let's go do some stuff. I got some stuff I got to clean up. Oh my god, general chat was just exploding with horny.
Yeah.
However, I can happily say that I never took part in MMORPG RP.
Me neither.
Never did any of that. Star Wars Galaxies, again, even Star Wars Galaxies, I kind of don't really consider. I don't really consider them in the same class as like WoW and EverQuest and Guild Wars. If that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're kind of their own like flavor, where a lot of the other MMORPGs were a lot more developer driven, and there was community on the side. Those two games, Galaxies and Eve, were very much community driven, and the sort of stuff you could do, and like even in Eve, because they did end up separating role players on WoW servers and Guild Wars servers, I believe. Role players in Eve were actually treated pretty fairly by the general populace. Like it was tolerated. Like to an extent, it was tolerated because it was like, all right, fine. As long as you're never too excessive with what you're doing, it was like, all right, I'll play along a little bit, but I'm not really going to get into it. That's where the whole NR, not red, don't shoot, NRDS, yeah. NRDS came from. But the text RP really died. Really died just in general. It really became honestly around the time I would guess I could say stuff like D&D and whatnot really started becoming more popular online. Like the websites that
No,
could host it.
no, it was before that. I think it was a couple years before that.
I guess. I don't know. It just for some reason, like I just stopped seeing it one day. Like those maps stopped being hosted and people stopped doing it, and there really wasn't that big of a community for it anymore. I don't know. Weird shit like that. But anyway, back to this garbage where the author believes the sun is apparently a source of infinite energy. So anyway, Amaterasu spawned the baby by fucking the sun.
I see.
And as a result, the child had no physical father, but instead was created out of sun energy and the essence of the goddess of the sun. So I'm really not sure if this is incest or not, but I'm pretty sure Sigmund Freud gained strength anyway.
Definitely.
Yeah. No, he's definitely
It's like if
ascending as we
God
speak.
had sex with a cross and Jesus popped out.
Gonna ask you to stop that heresy.
Yeah. I mean, he isn't wrong though.
It's basically the equivalent.
Yeah.
Amaterasu smiled as she felt the power of her son grow, and she looked into the trenches of the sky, happy Kriegsman noises, and she sighed as she looked back at her son. My precious little son. I get it. It's a play on words because he's part son and part
Damn, bro.
son.
You got the whole squad laughing.
Wow, yeah, boy. I want nothing more than to keep you with me, but you can't stay with me. I wish you could stay with me, but unfortunately your uncle's an asshole, so I have to send you away.
Understandable.
What the fuck does this even mean?
In spite of her brother, Amaterasu knew that the weight of Susanu's presence on Tamahakamakimurka was minuscule compared to the rest of the dysfunctional world. Susanoo no Mikoto, the god of the seas and storms, and the younger brother of Amaterasu, was known for his fierce temper. Amaterasu would never forget the event in which Susanoo destroyed her rice fields and threw
Welcome to the rice
horse
fields, motherfucker.
and threw a horse into her loom.
Hold on a minute.
What? No? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. She did.
All right.
Das yeet.
I was gonna say that's like when you're listening to like ancient Norse stories and it's like, oh, what's this one about? Oh, this is the time that Loki made Thor super constipated, put a cork in his ass, told him he was pregnant when his stomach distended, waited until he passed out from the pain, took the cork out of his ass, covered a squirrel in Vaseline, pulled it out, and told Thor it was his child.
Inventive,
just like,
but yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That Max, that
Yeah.
is unfortunately canon.
Yeah.
Wait,
I don't
where?
know what you're talking about because I just
I don't know what the fuck
found out
canon
what
you've
the
been reading.
post on a different server.
Cool.
I'm
Anyway,
gonna ask for source on that one, Atin.
Hold on.
Amaterasu was really scared, despite the fact that apparently she had infinite power. Hold on. Susanoo destroyed her loom and her rice fields and decimated her attendant.
Cool.
Damn, wait.
That's,
Decimated.
I don't know about.
That's a very
One.
interesting word choice.
Yeah. Because that word doesn't
Yeah.
mean what people think it means. Also, that's a really, really.
Yeah. Killed 1 out of every 10.
Killed 1/10 of the attendant, apparently, I guess, or something.
I thought it was. Yeah, that's what it was, right? Reduced by 10%. So I
Yeah.
guess she's missing like a couple fingers now.
I guess.
Yeah.
These acts were the reason why Amaterasu hit herself in the Ama no Iwado. This caused the sun to disappear, and as a result, life began to deteriorate. Eventually, Amaterasu was persuaded to leave the cave, and from that point on, the sun returned to its mighty throne in the universe.
Bruh.
Hold on, let me Let me try and not trip off the word search sources. Sun size comparison. See if we can't get a good one. Oh yeah, here we go. If you ever need to feel small, you can just look at this picture. Open image in new tab.
Yeah.
So you can see the sun is this 1 pixel right here.
And that's also
That's
an
great.
insert picture, Sneaky. Hang on.
Later on, I'll have to get the source from my brother. He was the one who found the story originally, and I believe he did in fact save it.
But yeah, so this one pixel, not to confuse this arrow, this cursor right here with the sun. No, see this tiny little white pixel right here where my cursor is. That's our sun size compared to all the other suns that we have found.
Here's another one, Sneaky. Just a bit better.
Max,
Okay,
what
good.
is this you've posted?
Yeah.
Holy
I don't know.
shit.
I'm trying to figure out what the fuck it is.
So yeah, this is actually another great one. So we got Earth right here in number 1.
No, hold on, Sneaky. We need you to science.
We got Earth right here in number 1, and then we can see how small Earth is compared to Jupiter in number 2, and then we can see how small Jupiter is compared to the Sun, which is the third object in the line on number 3, compared to Sirius, and then we can see how small Sirius is compared to Aldebaran, and then we can see how small Aldebaran is compared to Betelgeuse. And then we can see how small Betelgeuse is compared to VY Canis Majoris. And our sun is so fucking small that it effectively would be laughed at by other solar systems if they had suns of that size. Like, we laugh at Pluto and go, Pluto's not a real planet. People in other solar systems with suns of like that size would be laughing at our sun and saying our sun's not a real sun because
Yeah, well, not really star.
It's not a real star
Yes.
because it's so fucking small.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Is that by volume or mass? I believe it's by volume.
By size. Dumbass.
Yeah, that's what I said, volume.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
Yeah, so our sun's fucking small, so this is why I'm laughing every single time the author is like, oh man, our regal night infinite sun of mega Chad properties.
Yeah, I think this guy's a sun weeb.
I think this guy might be a sun weeb. Alright, so what did you need me to science on?
I posted a video and memes and shit posts that I'm not entirely sure how it occurred.
English teacher,
there's
final draft beside your fate. Fool, I am the rough draft. Oh.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it's a thing.
Wow. Oh.
You see the problem.
What the fuck is going on with these cars? Goddamn. Okay, let's see the second video here.
Kaboom.
Why did everything get caught on fire? What the
I'm not sure.
what the fuck? How did...
like the
At first I'm
barrier.
like, maybe this
and
is
then
like scale model or
detonated.
something, but then you look closer, it's like, no, that's not scale models.
Oh,
Also-
Those are real cars.
No,
Yeah.
okay, from right there. Oh, okay, yeah, no, that's simple. Yeah, no, when the car went over the barrier, the steel tank holding all the gasoline basically got
Punctured.
It
not
ruptured.
punctured, literally friction burned,
Oh
Ow.
no.
which ignited the gasoline inside from the heat, causing the car to basically leave that.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the oddest part of it to me is that if you pay close attention, it pretty clearly accelerates.
Yeah, no, like-
once it explodes, and it's like, I always
It
thought action
accelerates
movies
enough
were
to
lying.
smack other cars out of the way.
I mean, that's
It's-
I mean, gasoline, Max. We kind of cause miniature explosions with that to propel our vehicle forward.
We use the fumes. Gasoline itself is not explosive. It's the fumes that you don't want to spark.
Well,
So,
I mean, gasoline
it's so
itself is
worrying.
technically explosive. It's just you need a way higher ignition point.
I guess it hit that ignition point. Like, I'm sure there are people dead and it's horrible, but like,
It's
action
aggressive.
movies weren't completely lying, and it's very
No.
fascinating.
They just lied about the part of how much it takes to get to that point. That
Yeah.
car was very clearly. That car was. Maybe watch it again. That car was clearly going faster than the highway speed itself, which is already probably around 80 miles an hour because that's a straightaway.
Yeah, well, if
Well,
you
no,
look,
no, because here's the
if you
problem. It
look
looks like it's
close
coming
enough-
around a curve.
yeah, oh yeah, he's coming around a curve, but if
No,
you look closely,
yeah.
he's already smoking coming around the curve.
Yeah, no, it
Like-
looks like. Yeah, no, what happens, it looks like he's coming in from an exit,
Yeah.
and he was trying to do a drift, but
For some
drifted
reason.
too much into the center and ended up doing that whole riding the little tiny barrier slope. And
Yes.
instead of like flipping out of control because he was going so fast and because the how concrete and steel work together, he likely slid along the barrier and probably literally just fucking punctured his gas tank and then just friction burned it into existence, and then it all exploded at the same time, sending his car rocketing forward and leaving trails of burning gasoline in his wake.
Yeah.
Which honestly
I would hate
requires
to be the insurance agents in charge
Oh,
of that. By
it
the way,
requires so much to happen. Like, it's one of those scenarios where it's like at any point in time, one thing could have not happened and none of this would have occurred. But because literally the person
Yeah.
rolled a nat 1 on every single instance of what was going to happen from there on, this occurred.
yeah, that much is pretty. This is very obviously. You should have just stayed off the road and bought a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, my dude. You managed to fuck it up in such a special way. They're gonna have to make a policy about you now, but it's never gonna happen again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no. Oh man, he is
Right,
literally the
like-
reason for a new sign being made of "Don't do this."
But not just that, he's also the reason for the insurance company going, "We do not cover this."
We don't
right,
cover your car turning into a miniature rocket.
right? And there's gonna be some
Yeah.
18-year-old teenager who bothers to read the terms and conditions and is like, "Why the fuck did they have to say that they don't cover damages caused by your gas tank igniting and causing your car to shoot forward at 200 miles an hour and damages therein?"
Well,
Let's
that
be
looked like
real here.
China to me, so I don't think their insurance covers anything. Let's be fair here.
Let's be real here.
Yes.
That might be classified as an act of God at a stretch by most insurance companies.
Yeah.
Look,
Like,
we all shoot at the
sir,
hurricane.
I'm aware you're in a full body cast, but you have any idea the exact variables you had to hit for that?
Do you have any idea of the odds? Because we do. We're paid to know them, and we gotta ask. How the fuck, dude?
What you have performed was literally a 1 in 100 million chance.
We can't even really, officially, we're very upset at you. Unofficially, shit, dude.
Wow. So,
I legit hope he was alive to go through the claims
yeah.
for
I do, yeah.
Oh,
that.
I especially want the insurance company to contest that one, and they have to go to court, and they have to explain to the judge that because he was drifting out of an exit, he accidentally turned his car into a miniature rocket launch.
He has achieved the fireball spell just the way he wanted.
Congratulations, Wizard Level 1.
what? No, come on, Sneaky. That's Wizard level 4.
That's how you unlock the gamer power now, I guess.
Congratulations, you've cast your first spell, MP unlocked.
But you see, what no one knows is that man was secretly Elon Musk. And after gasoline betrayed him, he vowed to only use electric vehicles.
Indeed.
Started grinding for 6 months to make the money.
Indeed. So anyway, Amaterasu was afraid that if her brother found out that she had a kid, the storm god would kill the kid in a honor duel because he didn't like the idea of not being the most important person in Amaterasu's world.
Certified bro moment.
I know nothing about the lore there aside from
I don't know anything about this at all. I can only say if this is anywhere near accurate to Japanese Shintoism, what the fuck? If this is not, what the fuck? Author.
Yeah.
What the fuck is the author on?
Yeah. So anyway, she looked at the sky and lamented that she would have to abort the child, and
I see.
Then the baby exploded.
Ah. Kaboom.
Oh.
You thought I was joking.
I mean, you're simplifying it by a lot, but that's still exactly what happened here, yes.
Amaterasu
Rico.
smiled warmly,
Kaboom.
and swirls of solar flares covered her baby.
Ma'am, stop
That's,
bathing your children in...
As her body physically disappeared. Okay.
Why?
Man, you shouldn't bathe your child in gasoline. That's
Alright.
unhealthy.
Florida woman bathes child in gasoline.
I think that violates the NAP.
Florida woman bathes
it's
her own
not
son in
much of a thing.
gasoline, declares him a Super Saiyan as she ignites it. It's coming.
Yeah.
That generation is coming. Issei City, Honshu, Japan. Amaterasu reappeared with her son, who was still exploding? Wait, why did
I
she
think it was
wait,
done exploding.
why did she use solar flares to teleport? What?
Style points.
Boom.
Sun
That
God.
Boom,
seems
Sneaky.
like
Kaboom.
a massive waste of energy, I'm gonna be honest.
Well, yeah, but the sun has infinite energy, of course. It's like, it doesn't matter that she
Yeah.
created a solar flare all the way from the center of the solar system.
I can't wait to get. I hope there's a chapter where it's like, so we have a problem. The sun is dying. What? Yeah, you kept using solar flares to move around. You kept throwing energy out. Like, thing wasn't supposed to explode for like 2 billion years. You brought that down to 2 million, which
Honestly,
expires in about 10 years. So good
We're
job.
impressed.
You brought it down to 4 weeks? Oh shit! I should go check on the sun. Solar flare. 2 weeks, you asshole!
Uh-oh.
Amaterasu, blah blah blah. The Issei Grand Shrine was a shrine of the Shinto religion dedicated to Amaterasu.
Huh.
Wow,
Who could have seen this coming?
Don't
this is
say.
fucking
Really? I thought it would be dedicated to Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, I'm just shocked that the
Oh, yeah, brother.
the Grand Shrine of Japan is dedicated to the main god of Japan. Wow.
Hulk
That is
Hogan.
fucking mind-bending.
No, their
the
true god, John Cena.
no one saw it coming.
You can't see me. My time
Blah
is
blah
now.
blah 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 blah. The shrine was constructed of wood.
Oh shit.
Wow.
Wow.
What a twist.
No fuck. What? This is fucking.
You know, it's probably not a
impressive.
good idea to be using solar flare teleportation.
You know, that's a very
around
good point. I'm pretty sure you shouldn't be using solar flare-based teleportation while your baby's exploding next to a giant wood shrine.
It'll be fine.
Just a thought.
And every 20 years, it was rebuilt. Well, I think that.
I wonder why.
I think that answered our
Okay.
question.
All right.
I'm sorry. I just want to imagine a high priest just being like, Could you stop fucking teleporting? Do you know how expensive it is to rebuild this shit?
The goddess of the sun frowned as she walked to a mirror and looked at it. It was the reason why she left the heavenly rock cave. To look at the mirror? Okay.
You don't have a fucking mirror.
As she
You
looked
risked.
No,
You gave like 40
better.
people
Gets
answers so
better.
you could look in a mirror, you vain whore.
Gets better. This is the second time she ever looked at her reflection. And then she tilted her head and looked down at her son. And she's like, man, I'm really sad about this this fucking baby who's still exploding. She laid her infant down on the ground in the shrine and then crouched down to gaze at him lovingly. Feeling her eyes watering, she gave her son a kiss on the forehead.
He's still exploding.
He's still exploding, by the way. The author never said the baby stopped exploding.
God damn.
Wait, that's probably why your eyes are watering.
Oh, yeah, yeah, you're looking at the explosions for too long, you know?
Yeah.
There are going to be so many dead monks before they figure out how to stop that.
Just like fucking imagine, just like, you know, you're doing your daily duties as a monk of the shrine, and then a giant solar flare comes fucking out of nowhere, pounds through this one wooden shed you guys had, and just like the shed just starts exploding continuously as the sun beams down upon it. And everyone's just like, what the fuck is going on? As they're all dying from cancer and getting vaporized by the heat.
Yep.
Oh, God.
That's just life in Japan, I suppose. I mean,
You're-
after you guys dropped the
that's
sun
why-
on them
Was that
twice.
why the life expectancy was so low in Japan for so long?
Yeah.
The
It's
sun
all
gods
based on radiation.
kept bombarding the Japanese.
Yeah,
With
it turns
nuclear
out you guys weren't the
radiation.
first to drop the sun on them.
I knew you were gonna fucking go there.
Why wouldn't I?
Because I was about to.
Yeah, exactly.
As she pet her son's head, Amaterasu released a quivering sigh.
Woman.
And her body flickered in and out and returned to Tamakaka Harumakura. And then a random couple just walked into the grand shrine.
Points for effort, Sneaky.
The Japanese don't have the best skincare. We should give them some American skincare.
I still can't believe DuckDuckGo returned that as the sponsored fucking. I want to know what kind of searches were made before that night for the algorithm to pick that.
I don't know. We got.
Do you really want to know?
I can tell you the answer though, Max, because that wasn't DuckDuckGo. That was Google.
No, I'm pretty sure it was DuckDuckGo that did it.
Yeah, it
Better.
was DuckDuckGo.
Oh, well, DuckDuckGo. Okay.
This was well
No,
after you'd
Max,
swapped over.
DuckDuckGo doesn't record your search history. So
No,
that
I mean,
was-
does its algorithms not collate from
it doesn't
around the
have
web?
algorithms. And for that sort of stuff, it doesn't have. It has like
Yeah.
relevancy
Fuck.
algorithms, but it doesn't have
How
like
How did
previous
that
search history.
site tag itself then?
I don't know. I also don't know how it ended up as the #1 result either. That was concerning.
Curious.
Did we accidentally stumble upon the FBI front, the CIA back door into the Pentagon? The American skincare routine?
Perhaps.
So apparently a couple were just casually walking in the Grand Shrine with food and clothing.
I see.
Yeah, as you do.
And yeah, so they were married. They had no kids. This is the best part. Married with no kids, they only lived by themselves. And Mr. Hayudo was an office worker, while Miss Hayudo was a full-time housewife, doing all of those chores that were
Super required from a childless man and woman.
yeah, all of those
Yeah.
chores where they washed the one plate, and then they vacuumed, I guess. Their 3-bedroom house or something. Has Saitama and DxD been done? Yeah, it's been done. Pretty badly though.
I mean,
Most Saitama,
it can only be done badly.
Most Saitama stories are actually pretty awful.
Yeah.
Professional housewife made for other people, pretty much. But it's not professional. It doesn't have professional listed. Just says full time. They both come to Issei City to honor the sun goddess, known as Amaterasu. Apparently that has to be clarified for the audience. Is we have to clarify that they came for the sun goddess known as Amaterasu instead of Amaterasu, the ramen goddess, or the sun goddess known as Kepri, or Thor or something. I guess. Not really sure why they had to clarify that the sun goddess was known as Amaterasu when they just spent the past 2,000 words telling us about Amaterasu, the sun goddess.
That's not 2,000 words, Sneaky, but
I wish.
yeah.
I wish it was.
Yeah.
As they walked inside the shrine.
Well, actually, no. Actually.
As they walked inside the shrine, the couple paused as they heard something strange, which was the baby still exploding.
Unfortunate.
There's the in-between work because she got fired. Fair enough. Ooh wah, ooh wah wah, ooh wah 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 wah.
Wow.
And then the baby
down with
broke
the
out into a
sickness.
really sick beat, and they got jiggy with it.
Beatboxing, baby.
And they turned around and saw an infant just crying on the floor.
Damn. Yeah.
Just,
Here's
what
what
if you just walk into a church one day, Max, and there's just like a fucking baby just sitting on the floor of the interior, just a random ass baby.
Just a baby.
You know what I do?
I'm stuck there for 2 hours, and then I call the cops. No one shows up after 2 hours.
Does that mean you're legally allowed to acquire the baby after 2 hours?
No, I'm calling the cops to report what I think is a missing child or an abandoned child.
A baby?
Is there like
Yes,
some
the
kind
Messiah.
of 2-hour limit of responsibility in Georgia?
I have no idea.
If the
That's not the
parents
kind of thing you
don't
normally go looking
arrive
up.
after 2 hours,
And again, neither is the
the
law
baby's
concerning
legally
not
allowed
buying
to
up a
leave.
zebra in the middle of Atlanta.
How long does it take for a child to be legally acquired?
Please change the wording of that, Sneaky.
God fucking damn it, Sneaky, I spit my drink.
Good.
Excellent timing.
Child labor laws.
Fucking idiot.
Hey, wait a minute. Where's this going?
Emplaced weapons.
How old does a child need to be to operate a machine gun?
Recommendations for child target practice. No, Google, not
Uh-oh.
schools near me. Come on, that was funny.
Yeah, it was.
What's a baby doing in the shrine? Did someone leave him here? Yeah,
No, he
He
fucking
can't-
apparated in.
yeah, can't you tell by the explosions it's a holy baby?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. There's just a
Yeah.
fucking You haven't just found a baby in a church. You've walked into church. There's a giant fucking hole in the ceiling,
right,
a
there's a
smoldering
still
crater,
small-
and in that smoldering crater is a child.
There's a child still exploding.
I mean, the author never said he stopped exploding.
Exactly.
So yeah, he is still exploding.
And they looked at the baby more closely, and the infant was absolutely adorable. It just had this aura around him.
The
Her eyes-
infinite child. The
The
child
infinite
was
child.
multiplying.
Her eyes widened
Oh,
as a
no.
golden aura suddenly emanated from the infant as it started to explode again with a reddish flame-like aura.
Oh fuck, oh god. It's still exploding.
It's exploding again. The ground of Issei's shrine began to shake in tremors as the baby continued to explode.
Honey, the baby keeps exploding. It's the
I
third
think the
time today.
baby's awake, honey. How can you tell? Well, we're having another magnitude 6 earthquake.
Or was it magnitude 10?
I just realized that some of the devils in DxD would be thousands of years old. I wonder how conservative devils and angels would handle LGBT stuff. I can't imagine how they would react if the heir to the family tried to come out as gay. Well, first off, angels, they really don't have a sex drive.
I would say they don't have a gender.
No, in DxD they do.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, DxD.
Yeah, for some. Okay, this is the weird part. So God in DxD. No, hold on. In God in DxD was like, all right. So angels gendered. Also, for some reason, arbitrarily, the women have super sensitive breasts. But also, if they touch those breasts, they immediately fall.
Curious.
So, what? Find a really sensitive shirt, I guess? I don't fucking know.
I look. All I'm saying is that God in DxD might have been into some things. I'm just saying.
All I'm saying is, country girls make do.
But
was
as
an
far
old
as
guy.
devils go, the thing with devils is they have a canonically hilariously low spawn rate, as in it's impressive
Fertility rate sneaky.
spawn rate, as it's really impressive.
Fucking fucking moron. You absolute fucking retard.
Look, they only have so many tickets per game. Okay.
Yeah, ticket bid can get fucking hard, dude.
No, but seriously, canonically in DxD, devils basically are like, yeah, over the course of 10,000 years, I might be lucky to have 2 kids. If I fuck every day.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, though, is as far as LGBT stuff would go, devils can change their entire body structure at will in DxD.
Pretty much.
So you're saying it's just a normal Wednesday for many of them?
So if they're like, I feel like being a girl today, they can do that. Their soul, however, doesn't change. Their body does, but their soul doesn't. So they would still be the first son of the family, and they would inherit the titles and whatnot. But
Also, like, based on the way the devils act,
yeah,
I'm quite certain that they would just adopt the Imperial Rome rules.
what, have kids?
We don't care who you fuck or what you fuck, just pop out a child.
Honestly, their solution to I'm a gay devil might entirely be, all right, well, you're a gay devil, well, we'll get a woman sandwiched in between 2 dudes then. One of you is going to impregnate her.
Like I said, they would almost certainly just take the most practical route they could to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Like,
Camp?
Yes.
Oh. Oh.
God damn it, Sneaky.
Oh, man.
I said practical sneaky, not proven to do nothing except mentally
You
scar
said
children.
yes to him. You don't get out of this. You can't backpedal now.
Atin's desperately trying to fucking backtrack, dodge this. He's like, no, shit, fuck.
No, no. Like,
Reverse this.
listen, I'll let Sneaky have his joke, but in all seriousness, that doesn't work and it's a terrible idea.
Why didn't Rias just turn into a guy and tell Riser to marry her? He would be gay. Because
Wait, so-
Rias was having Chuny syndrome.
Yeah. And also Riser was probably
based on
already
what
gay.
little I know of Riser, he probably is just bisexual. Like, he probably doesn't give a shit.
I mean,
Yeah.
look,
He'd probably be
And
all
he
for
holds
it.
a goal.
Look, Reiser's the kind of guy who asked his sister to be actually in his harem just so he could have the little sister checkmark to the harem.
Oh, he totally be all for it. Then.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally canon. Like, he literally only asked her because that was the only way he'd be able to ever get a little sister into his harem.
Yep.
What did I just
DXD.
join into?
Don't ask
DXD.
questions. You're better off not asking.
The soul of Sigmund Freud grew stronger. Yes.
I see.
Anyway, the baby is still exploding, causing earthquakes. No, I wish dude.
Oh yeah, that was happening.
Yeah.
I'm not making this up. This is part of the story.
I don't
Sad
know.
but true.
Baby is still exploding.
Yeah, the baby is still exploding, causing massive tremors and making everyone destabilized. Moments later, finally the aura around the baby abruptly dissipated, allowing the couple to regain their balance, and they looked at the baby in awe. And randomly, the baby changed his body shape and DNA to match the two people in front of him.
Yeah, as you do. Casual Thursday evening.
And so the wife turns to the husband and goes, well, he looks like us and no one can prove otherwise, so should we just take him?
Wow. Not even a go and be like, hey, owners of the shrine, do you know what's up with this baby here? Just, well, I guess he's ours.
And they go and they look at each other again and they go, okay, well, fine. What do we name him? And then we'll be like, oh, we'll found him at Issei, so we'll call him Issei. We're calling him Issei, like after the shrine that we kidnapped him from? Well, yes, but also because I want him to be honest and sincere. And the husband's like, okay, fair enough. We'll call him Issei then.
Huh.
And then in heaven, all of the angels looked at each other and were like, wow, God is reborn on the earth.
Oh no.
No, they wouldn't be this dumb.
He had to fucking
Oh,
go
please. Don't be this dumb.
And then in the
Oh, it is.
underworld, they were like, wow, that was something else. This might be entertaining. And then 5 years later. And don't worry, guys, even though Issei's gonna have sex now, he has worked out enough to have the body of a 7-year-old.
Ah! Shut the fuck up.
Also, speaking of which, I did in fact
Sneaky, come
actually...
on.
I tried my hardest to contact Nuxtaku. I sent him a Twitter. I don't know how you're supposed to contact the guy because he doesn't have like a fucking submission email or anything.
Oh, you just
Never business
you just
email
bother him on
YouTube.
Twitter.
Yeah, so Max, I think you would actually should also do that because you seem to have the best luck at randomly getting people to pay attention to you and contact you. So I think you should also message him.
I mean, I'd say you're wrong, but I actually do have a 100% return rate because I don't do it very often. So,
yeah, I mean, neither do
Exactly.
I. But I actually don't do it ever. This is the first time I've ever actually contacted someone like this.
oh, on Twitter, sure, but you've reached out to people and gotten answers.
Oh yeah, on like fanfiction.net and stuff like that. But that was because I used to be like a little bit known. On a different note, you know how in an isekai, a Rob makes the summoned appear in a white void. White
Depending on
light
the
is a mix of
yeah.
radiation in the visible spectrum. What if Rob fucked up and gave them super cancer?
Because he, oh, that's not just even cancer. Those, if it's gamma waves, they're dead.
The real reason the Rob gives you a new body. By the way,
Your old one is
giving
dead.
you a new body because this one definitely just got like 14 different kinds of cancer.
Why can't I feel my body? Oh, that's because it's vaporized.
Yeah, that's the cancer setting in.
That's the nerve death.
Yeah.
The reason why you can't talk is because, well, all of your nerves have been fried by gamma radiation.
So I just need you to think about what you want really hard. Okay, you're thinking you want to kill me. No, think about what you want when you
What I need you to do
reincarnate.
really fast is think of the first thing that comes to your mind before it is also fried. Oh, there it goes. Oh, all that's left is dick. Okay, I guess he wants a harem or something.
Then the deity then flips a coin to decide if it's a deity of guys or a harem of girls.
Deity of guys.
Yeah, deity
or
of guys.
harem of girls.
Harem of girls, harem of guys. Oh wait, okay. You know what? That'd be kind of a fun harem story to write. Whatever character you pick, they've gotten the opposite gender is super into that. Like the opposite gender of what they want, super into them.
Oh,
what do you want? No one asked you to come over here. What is with your eyes? They're weirding us out. Go away. 6-year-old Issei Hayudo was very shy and sad because he was alone and he looked weird.
Yeah, you should be fucking sad, kid. Don't look goddamn weird. That's what I got taught for having. That's what I got taught for needing glasses in kindergarten and needing a patch.
Yeah.
Glasses are just a patch for bad eyesight.
You like reading? You like reading books? Get fucked. Go play Red Rover, stupid.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. His eyes were the quickest thing anyone ever noticed. That's because he had heterochromia, and his left eye was an almond brown, while his right eye was a yellow-orange lightning. Issei was often ostracized due to his different eye color.
That'd be fucking orange shade.
That'd be like a fucking medical miracle, honestly. I don't think that's possible.
Yeah, I don't think
I would
yellow
assume if his right eye were like that color, I'd assume some amount of blindness in there.
That's fair. Yeah.
Also, I don't get the trope of like, oh, they made fun of this kid for having heterochromia, because back in at least elementary school for me, that was some of the coolest shit.
Yeah.
Like,
that kid
wasn't made fun of. That kid had friends.
I mean, not only that, you have to also keep in mind fucking Chunyism, no matter where it is in the world. Every fucking kid's like, oh yeah, underneath my eye is like this fucking red bloodshot, black sclera, golden eyeball. It shoots beams of death, and I have to keep an eye patch over it to seal it away. Like, that's literally every fucking kid in existence at some point was like, yeah, what if one of my eyes did shit? Beyond C. Meanwhile, Atin and I were like, what if our other eye did shit like C?
It sure be nice if my other eye could work.
What if my fucking eyes cooperated?
It would be great if I could read today.
I could catch a fucking football if they did that!
Probably one of the funniest stories I'll ever have, though, from high school is I was playing baseball at gym, and everyone knows how bad my eyes are. And so they're like, look, Sneaky, just go play outfield. You're pretty much never going to get the ball hit to you anyway. Because no one in our class can actually fucking play baseball in terms of actually hitting the ball. And like the best we got were like,
of course you guys can't play baseball. You're from Jersey.
Fuck off. And like the best we got, you know what? You can literally eat a whole bag of dicks. The best we got was like some power bunts and whatnot. And that doesn't hurt that like half the class was girls as well, so it was like the ball barely made it 5 feet. But there was this one really sporty girl, and she knew how to play baseball. And I was talking with her in the outfield as well. I don't know why she was in the outfield, but she was. But one of the guys
were threatened by her prowess or some shit.
I don't know. I don't really care. I was telling her some fucking story, and you know how I tell stories with waving my hands around and shit?
Yeah, you're gesturing.
Yeah,
as many people do.
Yeah, and so I got a glove on my left hand, and I'm waving it around, telling my story, and at some point, someone fucking turns around, I think it was the person on second base, turns around to me and goes, Sneaky, shut the fuck up and pay attention to the game. I'm like, fucking why does it matter? I could hold my hand up in the air, and they would be about as effective bonk, thump.
Do you catch
I
a ball?
caught it. Everyone's fucking just like turning around, looking at me as I'm staring with the ball in my fucking glove.
Yeah.
You did the one thing that coaches did when first learning baseball. Just keep your glove up. Just keep it up and increase the odds of catching it.
Like, I was just holding it in the air and like, oh yeah, well, look at this, it's not gonna fucking do anything. Proceeds to catch the ball.
Don't. Oh, I guess
Yeah.
I stand corrected.
And everyone's just like, fucking really? Oh, God. U.S. all nationalities has returned. Go away. Where does the gets a flashback and wins trope come from? Naruto?
I mean, I'm sure there was
it's
some
probably older.
shonen anime before that, like.
No, Fist of
Well, I mean,
North
it
Star.
depends if you're thinking of it in like the anime
No,
sense
well,
or
no, I'm
in
thinking of just in general writing.
general media.
Yeah.
It's probably fairly old.
Not really. No, it's really not. Cowboy Bebop didn't do that. Inuyasha never did that.
Yeah, well, you're thinking in anime terms. I'm thinking more in like actual literature
Yeah, and literature doesn't fucking happen.
and movies,
Period.
Western movies.
Still doesn't fucking happen. Period. Like the idea of a flashback basically didn't exist in Western media until modern times.
I won't take your word for it, but sure.
You don't need to.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck you.
But as far as the whole flashback and win the fight thing, that's Bleach and Naruto. Fist of North Star didn't do it. Ranma and Half never did it.
I mean, Fist of the North Star just had all the flashbacks after the opponent was defeated.
Yeah, exactly. Jeez. Maybe One Piece?
Honestly, most shonen stuff. I think
it's
Dragon
not,
Ball
it's not
did it
even
too.
most shonen. It's like the modern shonen. Well, wow. The old modern shonen. The classic shonen.
Modern. You want to say that again, Boomer?
Hey,
I'm gonna need you to fucking stop.
yeah.
No.
So,
Boomer.
Sneaky.
Yes.
Assuming Wikipedia is right, because I actually haven't
Okay.
read the Ramayana or the Mahabharata.
The
And I'm not getting to Arabian Nights anytime soon. Flashbacks were used as early as those two stories. Those three.
Not flashbacks.
No.
Flashbacks that are then preceded by the person who had the flashback winning.
Yeah. That's a thing in mythology.
Hang on. What does he mean by gets a flashback and what?
Like
I
this
think he
battle
means, like,
makes me
characters-
remember on a previous event that occurred, and now that I have remembered the previous event that have occurred, I will now win the fight.
I mean, if I had to take a guess for shonen anime, at least I'd probably chalk that up something like Fist of the North Star.
No, again, Fist of the North Star did flashbacks after the fight was over.
I'm like 90% sure there's at least one mythology story that has it.
Well, yeah,
Not
probably,
Greek.
but like,
I'm sure I read something like that.
Not Greek, because I know Greek. I have the literal big book of Greek myth, and I have never seen a flashback in Greek myth.
Yeah.
Besides maybe Iliad and Odyssey, which was
that's just a whole. The story is a flashback.
Yeah,
Is that big book?
that's
Is the big book an interpretation? Because
no,
oftentimes
it's literally called the Big Book of Greek Mythology, and it contains like the top most popular variations of every myth.
Okay, but those are still very like.
Right,
Well,
it's the
hard
most
to nail
popular
down the
variation.
original.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Well,
go
obviously you can't nail
learn
down
ancient
the-
Greek, retard.
But I'm talking about shit like, oh, this
Yeah,
was the
local
most popular
language.
one and the most people that like to
yes,
say
learn a
these.
dead language. That's a good use of your time.
Yes.
That was the joke, yes.
As lately, no, it's not even that. It's not even the translation sort of thing. It's literally Athens had this variation of this myth about Athena,
Well, yeah.
while Sparta had this variation of the same myth about Athena. It's not a translation thing. It's a literal variation due to separate
Sneaky.
cultures thing.
Sneaky, you have that variation, and then you also have translation variations.
Well, yes, but I was
Yeah,
talking
both.
about. But still,
Yeah.
an entire flashback thing wouldn't be a translation error.
No, fair enough. I'm still claiming there's some mythological stories. It might have been in like the Mahabharata or something Eastern that I don't really remember.
It's
but
possible.
I'm sure I've seen it.
The only two I'm not really familiar with is both Indian and Chinese myth. Which entirely possible that there could be flashbacks that are then preceded by victories. But I really only started seeing it. I really only started seeing it in the more modern shonens.
Yeah.
As a way to shortcut storytelling. Because, like, we can't really bring up this topic, and we don't really have a way to siege into this topic, so we're just going to have them fighting, and then, like, them clashing swords makes them remember something that we need to explain to the audience, and then now that we've explained to the audience this thing, now they can win.
Yeah, well, of course, it's way easier in a visual format.
Yeah, but still. And it only lately happens because they started putting more power buffs into the time skips, and they couldn't be arsed to really tell us. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, like, even like Dragon Ball Z didn't do the whole flashback thing, really. Like, they actually showed them training, like as they were training.
Yeah.
Yep. It showed them
There
training, and then
there are a very small handful of examples of like flashing back to what the training they did was.
Wasn't it like that Bardock episode? Was that just in the abridged version? Because I've only watched the abridged version.
Yes, that's the.
I mean, the abridged version is really the best version. So.
Yeah, exactly.
There's episode of Bardock, and then there's the
weird
thing that should not have existed ever.
Yeah, I think it's the weird thing. I don't know.
But
yeah,
to answer your
him on a
question,
high.
Underplayed Creations, as far as we're aware, it's a more modern shortcut method of storytelling when you want to just get to the thing your story's known for more, and kind of skipping over the story bits. You know, game journalism mode.
Yeah, it's kind of gay. Don't do it.
Basically. But anyway, so Issei couldn't catch a break because everyone hated him for being Chuny before Chuny was cool, I guess.
Damn, bro.
I don't think there was ever a point where Chuny was cool.
I mean, when you're a Chuny, Chuny is cool.
Hindsight is a powerful thing.
Even in isolation he could handle, but he can't handle people picking on him physically. Let's find out what happens when people pick on him physically, shall we? Says the narrator to the audience, and I wish I was joking.
Okay.
So anyway, they're calling him weird and stuff, and then they ran up to Issei and punched Issei, and then Issei exploded.
Oh, yeah, of course. The child once famous for exploding is now exploding again.
Yes. And everyone's screaming in panic and shock as they just watched Issei explode. And the kid that punched Issei is screaming his head off in pain and agony as he clutches his arm. And they all ran away scared, cursing Issei. And if they
Issei exploded and everyone just ran away.
And if they had turned around to look back at the Issei that they were running away from, they would have seen a pained and saddened expression upon his face.
And if they'd listened closely to what he was screaming, they would have heard the words, Allahu Akbar.
No. Stop that.
2 hours later, and the mom is like, hey, let's go get ice cream. We're here. Do you want ice cream? And she gets him ice cream. Issei looked around and he looked up at the sun. He never understood why, but the sun always gave him so much energy. No matter how hot the sun was or how much the temperature was, Issei could endure the sun.
I see.
What?
Man's about to get skin cancer.
I've only been here for 15 minutes and I already have cancer from this story. Excellent.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, dude, the kid survived. Yeah, Issei exploded into a sun, but for some reason the kid was only burned badly.
I see.
So, anyway, as Issei is looking around, he finds a tall woman wearing gothic Lolita fashion. That looks
As
like
you
an
just
elf.
find them on the street.
Yeah,
Everyone just casually finds tall elf-looking woman wearing gothic Lolita fashion. What creeped Issei out the most, however, was
It's not
the woman
impossible.
stared at him with a hollow gaze, devoid of emotion. Or emotion. That's right, the author said emotion and emotion. Twice.
I see.
Well, okay.
A woman granted the power of empathy.
The female
Can I learn
superpower.
this dark magic?
As Issei looked at the woman with caution in his eyes. You know, keep in mind, everyone, this guy is 6. Not 16. He is 6. As he looked at the woman with caution in his eyes, he looked down to see 2 large orbs of flesh that were fully exposed, covered by cross-shaped black tape. Yes, yes. She's
Those are
flashing.
called titties, Issei.
She's flashing the entire street with a
Yeah,
stripper going to
Sure,
couch.
this is stranger danger now.
Yeah, she casually in Japan. She's flashing the entire street with a stripper outfit,
Yeah.
and no one's paying attention to her.
Yeah. That's Japan for you.
In DxD,
Thank
the
you.
Lots
Christian
of people
faction
in
is very
Japan do that all the
represented.
time, apparently.
But what about the Abrahamic religions in general? Are angels ever reciting Hadith or Zionism? No, pretty much just Christianity. Pretty much the author of DxD said only Christianity matters. And only the Christianity
Based.
involving the Pope matters.
Based.
There is no other religion besides the Pope, and apparently, according to the author, every variant of Christianity and Catholicism in the world is subservient to the Pope. Even if they aren't, they are.
Well, I think that's what we
huh.
like to call
Hey,
a little
when-
bit of heresy.
Press X to requisition a nuke.
Also,
Martin
effectively,
Luther
Jews,
too.
both
Blam.
Jews and Arabs don't exist, according to this author, either.
Based.
I'm
my
sorry?
God.
Yeah.
The world got wiped out.
in the entirety of DxD, Judaism and Islam basically don't exist, period.
They got eradicated by the devils
Oh, okay.
and the fallen
Apparently.
and the actual agent
They
Not
were
surprising.
afraid of God's chosen people.
and the Hindu.
Inshallah.
Everyone
Alright, then.
hated them.
I wouldn't be shocked. Anyway,
I was joking.
honestly, that might have been what the author went with, because he's a fucking chuny. So anyway, this stripper, Issei felt his face redden at the sight of the woman's abundant chest. Yeah,
Why?
Issei, age 6, was embarrassed by looking at this woman's chest. Age 6, doesn't even know what the fuck
yeah.
a breast is. But he's like, oh man, I'm gonna be embarrassed by looking.
I mean,
at it.
it's not that out there. Social conditioning.
Definitely, yeah, social conditioning might have some effect in there, but that's more like based around your own family, not whatever that weirdo over there is doing.
Yeah. I don't know. But it's like it's not the worst thing I've heard in this story.
I mean, that's fair enough. At least the author hasn't said he has the body of a 9-year-old because he exercises a bunch.
True.
Yeah, well, I mean, if he did exercise a lot, he wouldn't be such a fucking pussy, now would he?
It's possible. He attempted to look away as he scooted away from the woman. He attempted to look away, as opposed to looking away. And then he looked back at the ice cream parlor to see his mother talking to the cashier, and just apparently everyone just around him just didn't notice this stripper just staring at children.
Hello,
Okay.
FBI?
Yeah. When the little boy turned around again, he immediately felt a cold hand place itself on his head, and he tensed up at the invasive touch, and he looked up, and he was too late to react as the cold hand pushed him forward, causing the child to be enclosed in the bountiful pillows of flesh.
Because that's how people talk.
Yes.
And that's definitely how 6-year-olds think.
That's absolutely.
Of course.
Actually, to be fair, I could actually see a 6-year-old calling a breast a flesh pillow.
Yeah.
Fair, I guess.
Isn't that out there?
At this point in time, Issei was frantic as the woman continued to suffocate him with her chest. After a few agonizing moments, his head was finally pulled back, allowing Issei to regain his breath. As he recovered, Issei flinched when the woman suddenly moved so that her face was close to his in a matter of seconds. Issei started to sweat and tried to back away before realizing that he was at the edge of the bench and couldn't back away from the stripper holding on to him.
Why does he keep calling her a stripper? Issei should not know the word stripper.
Oh, I'm inserting.
He doesn't.
Snake is the one.
At this point, I literally don't care.
I just want to reinforce that to the outside view of literally everyone else right now, a woman wearing X tape over her breast and basically no clothing is currently physically assaulting a child, and absolutely no one is doing anything about this.
Well, Sneaky, this is DXD. There is a lot of magic fuckery.
I'm aware. Ophis also doesn't give a shit.
True. I'm just
that was
saying.
actually a thing that they actually had to manage. Is getting Ophis to not do shit like this in general.
That's fair.
Because she doesn't give a shit. She literally could not give a flying fuck about what humans think is embarrassing or what might reveal magic to the world. So that part of that was literally locking her in a separate dimension, so she would stop wandering around as a small child with stripper tape.
And then
For
Great
clothing.
Red appeared.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, I don't know why she turned into. So this is also the second weirdest part about DXD is canonically she was in fact an older woman, and then for some reason, before she shows up again to the canon audience, she for some reason becomes a lolly. Like she was canonically before that appearance had shown up
That new Japan.
as an older woman. But for
I'll
some
never forget the
reason, when she
Japanese.
showed up for Issei, it was as a lolly.
Well, yeah. That speaks volumes about this,
I guess.
doesn't it?
Yeah. I'm kind of really which then they then turn her into their daughter, which is even weirder. Honestly, it's kind of weird. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Like I sort of get it because she's basically socially retarded. But
I suppose.
it's still a little bit weird. I don't think they ever fixed the outfit. Yeah, Ophis was also an old man at one point as well. Because her what she appears as is completely dependent on who she is currently trying to recruit. Pretty much.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Then they split Ophis's power. Yeah, somehow they figured out how to make Infinity -1. And they split Ophis's power. Somehow.
As you do.
Yep, casually just breaking math.
And
Math is for bitches.
True.
Yeah, so that occurred as well. So then they had 2 lollies.
I guess double the crime.
Yeah.
Oh, now we can double the amount of crime, gentlemen.
Really, I'm honestly really concerned about the author in general. Wouldn't be shocked if someday we find out that he was arrested for possession of child porn. So
Yeah.
I honestly don't know how he got away with the whole I'm going to put a child in stripper tape. I really don't know how he got away with
Sneaky.
that one.
This is Japan.
Japan.
Yeah,
that makes me concerned.
Yeah.
2 nukes was not enough. Anyway, so this stripper starts molesting him. And then she starts feeling up his head. And then a snake manifested around the woman. And then crawled onto the terrified Issei, revealing fangs in its mouth. Issei gasped as the snake bit him in the neck. And the woman's eyes narrowed, gaining a hollow look. Suddenly, a familiar explosion occurred that traveled into the snake.
Oh no. Issei's chronic terrorism is flaring up again.
Chronic terrorism.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
Good.
No.
Fuck you.
Her eyes widened as the snake's body began to disintegrate. Showing an expression that was akin to surprise, she removed her finger. And Issei gained a fearful look in his eyes, and he got off the bench to... So again, no one has fucking noticed them so far.
Yeah.
So despite the fact that Issei has currently fucking exploded, nobody has noticed this. So as Issei rubbed his neck, there was no physical mark on his neck to be seen, and as he looked up at his attacker, he felt his nervousness skyrocket at the look the woman was giving him. Because just arbitrarily, the author now randomly gives the name of the woman, being the one we all know, Ophis, the Infinite Dragon, or the Ouroboros Dragon. I don't know why the author decided that this was the point that he would randomly give us the name of the woman, even though we would either have known the name the whole time, or we wouldn't have known the name the whole time, and there would be no point in giving us the name right now, because no one actually... said the name out loud, which would give you the way to introduce them to the audience. So either you're counting on the audience to just know who Ophis is, which you are, which then gives you no reason to not have just called her Ophis earlier. It's like in a Naruto story, when you have someone who is blatantly Kushina, show up in the story, and then for a solid 9 paragraphs, you're vividly describing Kushina, and then eventually, for some reason, you're just finally it's Kushina. It's wow, no shit.
Really? My God.
Wow, this person who's described as Kushina is Kushina. No fucking shit.
This floor
Truly
is
a
made
revelation of the
floor.
ages.
The power seemed radiant yet vast. Really? That Ophis is going to say that the sun energy inside a child is vast when compared to infinite energy.
Well, remember, the sun is infinite, Sneaky.
Oh, right. Of course. I forgot. My bad.
Yeah.
So it's at least on her level.
Solar energy was often stated to be potentially limitless, because it was derived from the sun. If anyone would know about infinite energy, it would be the god of infinite energy.
The
The god of infinite energy wouldn't be relying on rumors about other sources of infinite energy. As they are the god of infinite energy, they would know about anything that has infinite energy.
Let me ask you a question. Do you know that I'm the god of infinite energy? Yes. And you say you have a new infinite energy source that I don't know about, despite being the literal god of it.
That's
Yes.
like
Well, then it's not fucking infinite.
That's like explaining clouds to the god of clouds. It's like, yeah, bro,
yes,
I think they know
interesting.
something or two about clouds.
Really?
There was no limit to the amount of light and heat a sun could produce.
No,
There is, actually.
scientifically inaccurate.
That is
Even in the DxD universe.
so hilariously inaccurate. Like, even by religious standards, that is so hilariously inaccurate. Because we have this thing called temperature, and where the sun produces less energy on our planet for periods of time.
It doesn't produce less energy. It sends less energy, or less energy reaches us. It's more accurate.
Yeah, I guess. Well, it's more like...
But like even
the same amount of energy reaches us, but due to environmental factors, less gets trapped and whatnot. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if you, like, it depends on how you frame it. I say produces, because it's effectively like a giant organic engine.
what was you say, right? There's
Well,
right,
I'm not really
mythologically
organic.
speaking, you know, like all the sun gods, like they got up in the morning, they made the sun rise, and then they made it go down at night because they couldn't keep the sun on 24/7.
Yeah, that actually
Yeah.
is, that's a fair point, yeah. Underplayed creations, there is no limit. Hydrogen, am I a joke to you? Yeah, effectively. Yeah,
Yeah,
also
pretty
that
much.
too.
Chemistry, it'd be like that.
Yeah, the god of infinite everything doesn't know about chemistry, apparently, or something. I don't know, man.
Atom Scober.
Also, the god of infinite energy doesn't know of any limit to the sun's energy. It sounds like infinite energy.
Yeah.
Just pointing this out. With the colossal amount of solar energy within the young boy, which would, to a god of infinite energy, be considered a puddle. Maybe. Wouldn't really use the term colossal. Maybe impressive for a not god of infinite energy. If you're going to use other gods as a benchmark. The energy could be converted into raw power and strength arbitrarily, so long as the sun remained on.
Really? So,
What?
not infinite then?
Yeah.
You're
Eerily
fucking
quiet,
moron.
Ophis leaned her face closer to Issei, staring at Issei with her dark gray eyes. Ophis suddenly gave Issei a spine-chilling smile. No sharp teeth, no fangs. The confused Issei could only stay still, not knowing what to do, with a stripper smiling creepily at him. The young boy suddenly felt two ice-cold hands placing themselves on his cheek. Shivering again from the temperature of the woman's hands, Issei looked into Ophis's gray eyes and felt unnerved by the smile on her face. Issei, I hate to break this to you, but you are probably about to show up on Let's Catch a Predator.
Not just probably. This is a special episode.
Moments
Catch a
later,
Predator.
Issei flinched when Ophis puckered her lips and pressed them to his forehead. The dragon's body shivered from the
Ophis,
contact,
please
and her eyes
sit down. Have a
glazed
cookie.
over in pleasure. She could already feel
Nah,
the
step
dormant
away
power
from the child.
within the boy, and at this rate, he would become stronger. You belong to me, my mate.
Ma'am, this is
Ma'am.
CPS. Step away from the child before we make you.
Would you like to take a seat, ma'am?
That's cool and all, author, but please face the wall now.
Put your
Yeah,
hands behind your head.
No, there'll be no hands moving. Don't worry about it. This is a
Yeah,
completely...
just face the wall.
Just face the wall, please.
Face the wall immediately, and pray to whatever god you believe in.
I don't know what's weirder, a teenager desiring Loki or a child desiring a stripper. Well, the Jewish media pushes the second one, so I'm gonna have to go with the second one.
Hey.
True.
Anyway, we done with this?
Unfortunately, we are only 1/3 of the way through.
No, I'm getting dinner.
Well, it's already 9. It's 9. It's 9:05.
No, we're done with this. Don't worry. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, basically, then the time skips to 11 years later, and Issei's like, man, getting kissed by her was super pleasant, and it made me feel really good. So now Issei's 17 years old.
Stockholm syndrome. I see.
Probably magically induced at that.
Right, so anyway, Issei now 11 years later at age 17 has a harem aura that makes girls wet their panties by just being in the same area as him.
That's like violently DxD.
I wish this was a joke. But no, literally all of the girls are like aggressively sexually assaulting him by just introducing his name.
Yeah, he got that Gucci, you know.
Yeah, so for some reason the author is also changing the storyline of Rainiere to be an actual observer who's getting active orders from Azazel to actively just observe him and not whatever fucking stupid ass shit was the original canon. Other shit that happens was Ophis shows up again and starts raping him.
Oh, yes.
And then Ophis just starts turning into everything Issei is attracted to get his dick hard.
Yeah.
And let's see, blah blah blah. I don't see why you have so many books. Why'd you only pick one book? Blah blah blah. It really isn't really important. It's literally just Ophis and Issei making out. Blah blah blah. Everyone's reacting to how strong and beautiful and hot Issei is. And then
you know, this reminds me of a comic I saw earlier today. It's like fucking the police officer shows up and like, stop right there, pedophile. Get away from that girl.
Yeah. Don't worry, officer.
Don't worry, my girlfriend is 1,000 years old. And it's just like, yeah, I know. Step away from the child, man.
Yeah, and arrest the lolly.
Yeah.
Immediately step away from the child, please. Thank you.
I don't know what the age of consent is in Dragonland, but you're definitely not meeting it.
No, see, he's actually pulls out pistol. I did not stutter. Step away.
Yep.
Just once, I do want to see a police officer stare down a criminal with, did I fucking stutter? Like, that's about the level of, that dumb lady who wouldn't wear a mask and then resisted arrest. Down in Texas.
Anyway, so to end this chapter, Rainiere tries to hit on Issei, and then Ophis shows up and smites her, saying, "Issei is my fuck toy, no one else's."
Yeah. Well,
so
slightly different wording, but yeah.
That was a story.
I think we need an adult.
Yeah, I think there definitely needs to be an adult to take this person away to a mental asylum, because they spent 460,000 words writing about a story in which Ophis grooms Issei to be her sex toy.
And this, children, is why grooming exists as a charge.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be really not okay with any of this, and give this author a solid 20 years of lockup out of 10.
Yeah.
Well, why stop at 20? Make it 50.
Because unfortunately, that
life
is
sentence.
statutory
Pay
limit.
for this fucker for 50 years?
Yeah, that's
Yes,
unfortunately
but
the
as we all know,
limit.
if they remain in prison, they'll eventually suffer more than just getting
But
shot.
that's what I'm saying. Look,
I'm not paying for 50
bring
years.
back the death penalty. Listen.
Yeah, no.
We have a lot of civil unrest right now.
Look,
People are
really
upset and
I really
angry.
don't care about suffering. I really don't care if they suffer and blah 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 blah. I couldn't give a flying shit about it. No, just bring back the death penalty. I'm not fucking paying for it. Look, I could not care.
Sneaky. I have a more economical solution.
Look,
Bring back
fucking,
the Coliseum.
I mean, look, man, no, not even that, dude. Like, come on, just the fucking 9mm bullet costs like $2. That is the fucking cheapest in existence death penalty you could ever have. Just bop, done. Move on.
Yeah, you hit him in the back.
Well, I was
of the
gonna say,
head, though.
and the thing is, you don't even have to leave them aware of it. Like, right, going through, doing the rounds one day, lights out, everybody, guard stops there for 2 seconds.
Death row cleared out. We're done.
Yeah. Give him a silencer.
I mean,
And they'll literally-
well, hold on. At that point, you might as well just hire the Italian mafia to come in and fucking smother everyone in their sleep.
Hey, at least they'll clean up afterwards.
No, you have to make it loud, but you don't have to celebrate it. That's why it's just a bop, done. You cart the bodies out. You don't try and fucking hide it, but at the same time, you don't make a big production out of it. Bing, bang, done. But anyway, we're not here to talk politics. We're here to talk fan fiction. But we're not here to talk fan fiction. We're here to say, get the fuck out. We're leaving now, because it's past 9 o'clock. So check out our other VODs or on YouTube or Twitch or something, and I kind of upload at a decent schedule or whatever. I mean, look, we're getting like 70 views now on the VODs on Twitch, so that's cool, I guess.
That's nice. Someone must be leaving it on refresh or something.
I guess that's a really long video to accidentally rewatch for several hours.
I mean, granted, I'll admit, paying attention to this stuff is a pain in the ass. When I attempted to do highlights
that's totally
for this,
fair, yeah.
leaving it as background noise, totally fine.
Oh no, I'm totally fine with being background noise. Honestly, like I said, like I will take the hate super chats. I'll take the hate messages. I'll take the background noise. I'll take whatever I can get. Like, Jesus Christ, I don't care. If people have me as background noise and occasionally they'll send me $5 to say "fuck you, Sneaky," I'll take it.
Yeah. I occasionally send you $5 and say "fuck you, Sneaky" on the live stream.
It's great.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, you know what? We'll see you guys on Tuesday, because unfortunately there is always more, and it does always get worse.